Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to South to Soul Cooking, from the South to your soul. Let's get into it. So today we are cooking homemade spaghetti and fish. This is a meal that's derived from my Midwestern roots and has flourished with a Southern profile. And you see here we have our fruits and vegetables. Yes, tomatoes are a fruit. Fruit, vine ripe. You've got some cherry tomatoes, green, red, bell pepper, as well as a purple onion. I want to say here, I normally like white crisp onions. I'll also use yellow onions, whatever the case may be. But for this particular dish, I believe the red onion works. The purple onion works best because it's going to maintain the color of the sauce. If you are looking to make more of a homemade vodka sauce, then you're going to use a white onion. But we are making like a marinara, right? We're essentially making marinara sauce. We're not making spaghetti sauce. We're making marinara sauce, right? So, and we're also going to add meat to this sauce. But we're making marinara sauce, and so we want to maintain the color. You do not at all whatsoever have to cut your bell peppers down like this. Just cut them into chunks. I'm not sure who said the seeds are bad for you, but yeah, that's going to go into the homemade spaghetti as well. So here I'm cutting the green bell pepper again. Like this could literally just be cut into chunks. As long as you can fit it into your blender, correct? That's where we're headed with this. We're going to create our own homemade marinara sauce for our spaghetti and fried codfish. I think this meal is really important because as a single mom, and I say that with the most power you will ever hear in a woman's voice. As a single mom, there are no excuses for me to not provide a nutrient-packed, healthy meal. I get it. 40 to 60 hour work weeks, day to day. I mean, I get it. But with that being said, there's two things. The prices is one, right? So like a really good marinara sauce is like $10 to $12. Shout out Publix. I mean, literally, it's my spot. But a good marinara sauce is like $10 to $12, and I'm going to need 2 bottles. And so when I, potentially going in for a marinara plus anything else, right? I've already spent about $20+ to get a really good marinara sauce. Now, what you're going to see here is I've already washed off all of the tomatoes, which are a fruit. I've washed off my fruits and vegetables, and I'm just placing my fruits and vegetables here on, I'm going to call it a roaster. I'm sure it's not a roaster, but it's going to be a roaster right now, because I'm going to put it into the oven to roast my fruit tomatoes. And so I am putting the tomatoes into the oven. And I think this is a really important recipe to share. It's a recipe that my boys have learned to love. And I hope one day that their wives will make spaghetti or marinara sauce like this. And it is a tradition that is shared within my family for many generations. And I'm just blessed to be able to share it with you as well. Also, let's really talk about a government shutdown. We are currently underway. I know it's not the first time. It's not, unprecedented. It's not going to be the first, the second, the third, or the last. And so stability and how you stabilize your internal surroundings or your internal economical surroundings, regardless of external factors, is really important. And cooking at home is one way that you can do that. So, okay, these tomatoes were no more than $10. Now, I will tell you, the cherry tomatoes are a little bit more pricier. You don't need to get those at all. You really only need the big tomatoes. You can just get the big tomatoes. Get the big tomatoes in 1 can of tomato paste, right? Like the 99-cent can of tomato paste. But here what we see are, the vine ripe tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes. I've just put some avocado oil across those tomatoes. You don't want a dry tomato. When you put that tomato in the oven to roast it, you're going to put your roaster, or I'm going to put my oven. You do what you want to do at your house. I'm going to do what I want to do at mine. I'm going to put my oven on 350. I just put some kosher salt, and you'll see that I am going to, I'm spreading an Italian seasoning, which has no salt. It's just essentially dried Italian seasonings that I'm putting, not sparingly, heavily across all of my tomatoes. Here I have layered the purple onions, red onions, or whatever you like, as well as the red bell peppers and the green bell peppers. I've layered those because those are also going in the oven to cook. Now, I'm not going to cook them enough to dry them out per se, right? Like to be able to grind them up to a paste. We are just cooking these enough to get them into the blender to provide a really good consistency. And if South to Soul had a marinara jar, if South to Soul had a marinara jar, these would be the ingredients on the marinara jar. This is another thing also, right? I mean, if you're like me growing up, your mom, your dad, they worked. They were very, heavy in the community. And while family dinners were really important, survival was also. And so growing up with my mom, not necessarily my dad, but growing up with my mom, you ate what you could. And I don't think she always necessarily focused on a balanced meal. And so you know how it goes. You always try to be better than the next generation or the previous generation. And so for me, it's been in motherhood, it's been really important to show my boys ways to eat and to create a flavor profile that they can make at home, that's going to be nutritious, that's not going to be packed with preservatives and gluten and all the things that are just really bad and unhealthy for you and that we all really love. So you see here, right, we put some real butter, not margarine here, right? So we put some real butter. These are for the vegetables, right? We've got some real butter on our vegetables that we're going to roast. We've got some pepper. I peppered the vegetables. Now I am going to use parchment paper. Little tip. Wet your parchment paper, measure it, wet it, and scrunch it up. Like literally, wet it, scrunch it up. Okay. So this is my type of art. You will see that we have roasted the red or purple onion, green and red bell pepper, as well as the vine ripe tomatoes and the cherry tomatoes. Underneath, obviously, we've got that flavor, the avocado oil, the real butter, not margarine, and the seasonings in that bed pan. Alrighty, so we're going to set that to the side. And now we are making the base for our meat. Keep in mind, this is South to Soul. Everything we do here is going to be super Southern. And I know when people think of the South, you don't necessarily think of Florida, but Floridian Southern. I'll have to, on another video, I'll show you my seafood spaghetti, but stick here. This is going to be ground beef and Italian sausage. Here I am adding a hefty amount of garlic. This is not minced garlic. That is garlic paste, fresh garlic paste. If you are not going to use fresh garlic paste, It is only suitable, especially in this meal, to use real garlic. There's no minced garlic in this meal. That minced garlic is super acidic. I know you taste it when you use it. It throws a dish off, in my opinion. It throws a dish off because it's acidic and you have not measured the vinegary. I don't know what's in it. It's not full garlic. Anyway, so garlic paste. But if you don't have garlic paste, real garlic. Real garlic is much cheaper and lasts longer, can literally be made into an oil and put into the freezer. Don't just freeze them because you will ruin them, but okay. So, alrighty. And also, if you are looking to make a more economical dish, you do not have to put meat in this. I chose to put meat in this dish because this is how we one variation of a way we make it. But there are definitely many times that I make this dish and I do not put meat in it, and my family does not miss it. Now, I'll still pair it with some fish, or if you're really from the Midwest, like shout out Bell Fountain Neighbors, Cahokia, Illinois. If you're really from the Midwest, you make the spaghetti, you make a meatless spaghetti on a Wednesday, right? Or a Monday. And on Tuesday, you make the fried fish and you add the spaghetti, and that's how it was stretched. And that's why you were eating fish and spaghetti. Just a little origin or whatever. But this dish, particularly the Italian sausage, was broken down into chunks. I never do special meatballs for your Italian sausage. You can do that. That would be really nice probably also. But for me, because I normally cook the ground beef and the Italian sausage as it's going in the same dish in the same pot, they're going to cook evenly around the same time. I break them into big balls so that I can still have the consistency of chunks in the breakup of meat, but it all cooks evenly. So you'll see here where I've still kind of got the meat chunks from the Italian sausage, but it's really broken down evenly, and you can see the vegetables here now. Now, if you're still here with me, if you're still here with South to Soul and you're still watching, please take a moment to subscribe, like, leave me a comment, and I'll reply back. Okay, so you'll see that's pretty well cooked down. We are going to drain that and set it to the side. We are going to begin making our pasta water. I want to say making the pasta water is important. It's an important step in creating a phenomenal spaghetti. And shout out to Publix. I use drinking water. However, I normally will use spring water or Zephyr Hills. Those are my two go-tos. Say you're Floridian without saying you're Floridian. That's a little avocado oil. I am not going to put salt in it, but I did put a very generous amount of avocado oil. And I am going to bring this to a boil before I begin to put salt in it. Once it's to a boil, as you see now, I will put the salt in there. Once I have cooked my pasta, I am not going to throw this water away. This is angel hair pasta, team. Listen, angel hair pasta. Also, another really good pasta is protein pasta. So you can use protein pasta. It's another way I like to sneak in protein and goodies for the kiddies and everyday meals. But this here is angel hair pasta. It is delectable in helping to absorb the juice from the homemade marinara. And yes, just don't throw your pasta, don't throw your pasta water away. Like sometimes I will even pepper this pasta water while it's boiling before the noodles go in there. But set that pasta water to the side, let it cool. I didn't put it on camera, but I broke my pasta water down into two separate containers and I put it in the freezer. I'll pull that back out around a little bit before Thanksgiving, because obviously I will use that as a thickener for different dishes. And here I am dressing up the noodles. I've put a little bit of avocado oil on them so they don't stick together. I've also put a little pepper and a little Parmesan cheese, as well as a little basil. And I'm just softly I am softly flipping those noodles. I am softly flipping those noodles. And I'm going to put the lid on that and put that to the side. Noodles on fleek. I don't know if that's the word anymore, but you guys see the noodles. You see it. I just want to say, listen, my kids love this dish. This morning, which is like the next day, I made this yesterday, right? And this morning they woke up, they were all hype. They're like, Mommy. I'm like, oh, hey. They're like, hey, we got more spaghetti. And I was like, oh, you guys are hyped from the meal from last night. I thought you were actually excited to see me. Okay. So here are the tomatoes. Ooh, you see those tomatoes? Oh my God. So I let this cool down. They were super good. This was super good. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Like, my Midwestern family is cooking. I mean, my Midwestern family is literally growing tomatoes in their backyard. So, like, most of this, they could have just gone out to their backyard and got from the backyard. And as we go and as I grow, we're going to be making noodles. We're going to make noodles also. You say it, it can happen. Faith is dead without works, but we have that as well. Okay, so we're putting the tomatoes into the blender. Ooh, they look so good. Look at the fruit. Fruit and seasoning. I will say it all the time. That's what people really love. That's what we really love. That's what I really love. Fruit and vegetables. Now, my weight doesn't say that I love fruit and vegetables. Oh my God. But everyone really loves fruit and vegetables, because if you like meat, then you like the seasoning that goes on meat. And we all know what seasoning is. Okay, so I blended the tomatoes. I left the shell on, or the skin or whatever. I left the skin on because that's going to add to the consistency that I'm looking for at my house. And now I am adding the remainder. I blended the tomatoes all together with each other. The big tomatoes, so that I could get that base consistency. And then you'll see here that I'm adding the remainder of the ingredients, which are going to be just the red or purple onions, the green and red bell peppers, as well as the cherry tomatoes. And it looks super. I hope I remember to take that bay leaf out. I know I did. I believe I did. And if I didn't, the Ninja did its thing, because, yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, the Ninja did its thing. Come through, Ninja. We've got all the seasoning, all the flavor. It is looking super good. Look at that flavor. Look at your flavor profile. Look at the colors. I mean, all at home. All vegetables. Literally vegetables. You could go to the Spanish bodega. If you're in Florida, you can go to a Spanish bodega. Okay. So we blended the fruit and vegetables together, the base, and we are now adding all of that good flavor that baked or roasted in the oven. We've got the butter, the avocado oil that's mixed in there with all of the seasonings, all of the flavors, and we are going to blend that to a consistency. We're going to get all of the flavor out of there. We're going to blend that to a consistency until it looks like this. Okay, so this is the blended consistency, and now we are going to cook our spaghetti sauce, our marinara sauce. We're not going to add our meat to it yet. We are just going to simply cook our sauce. We are going to, in this process, thicken our sauce. We are going to mesh the flavors together from our sauce. You are going to see one deep ring form before we're done cooking the sauce. Now, I added sugar because we're at my house. Okay, so you see we've got the first ring, right? Like you see the consistency change. It got a little chunkier. We're going to see some of the excess water pull out. Now, if you've got to remember, okay, so you see how the rings got deeper. You've got to remember that you've got that pasta water that you need to use. Okay, so we're going to add the pasta water here to continue to thicken. We're going to add that in the process. As you see, we didn't add that just at the beginning, but we did add that. And you've got to remember, by the time the jar of tomato sauce gets to you, it's been like in a factory. It's been transported. It's been like there's a whole entire process from transport to shelf, right? Like farm to market. There's a process for all of that. That pasta sauce, I mean, how many days or weeks has it sat in that jar and settled? That's the point I'm getting at. Your pasta sauce that you buy off of the shelf, it has time to settle, okay? Now, if you'll see here, that ring has gotten deeper, right? And that's what we're going for. We're going to continue to skim water through this entire process and not take away too much of my flavoring. That's bubbled to the top. But if you want your pasta sauce to have a really phenomenal flavor profile, if you want it to hug your pasta and absorb the Parmesan cheese eloquently, like how your mom used to do it when you were a kid, you're going to want to let your marinara sauce stay in the refrigerator overnight. Like put it in a dish and put the lid on it. And then the next day, chef's kiss. Hey there again. If you're still here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So we've added the ground beef. Go ahead, we're going to stir that ground beef and put it to the side. So these kale chips, or what is going to be made into kale chips, have been washed, destemmed, lightly seasoned with a little bit of avocado oil. I will put these in the oven for a quick char, and we will begin frying our fish. This is cod, mustard fried cod. If you're from Tampa Bay, you know what it is. This is mustard fried cod that we have fried up for our fresh marinara spaghetti and fish. And we will shortly begin to plate. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. Thank you so very much. If you're still here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I will just save the marinara sauce in its own jar or container, put that in the refrigerator, or say, for example, I know that we're going to eat spaghetti for the next night. I will put enough marinara sauce, leave enough out to feed the family for the next night, and then I'll freeze the rest. So the fish is coming out of the grease. Mustard fish. I'll have to do a video. Showing all my flavor and seasoning and the process for the fish. But again, if you are here, I just want to say thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll comment back. Tell me what you think, good or bad. Everyone's got an opinion. Okay. So we're going to flip this one more time. And then we're going to take this out of the grease. We're going to take this out of the grease. And we're going to be ready to plate. Like, we're going to be ready to plate. Like, yeah, we're to that point where we've prepared pretty much all of the dish. And ta-da. We've got South to Soul homemade spaghetti and fish. We've got crispy kale. It is so good. Listen, we're going to have to do a video. Crispy kale, spaghetti, homemade marinara with Italian sausage and ground beef, as well as some crispy, hard fried mustard cod, fried fish. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much.